Okay, now with that same file selected, the first thing I want to do is I want to set some colors. If you look here down at the bottom of your toolbar, you have your color picker, the two big boxes. You also have a black and white box there. That black and white is your default foreground and background colors. If you click on those, then black and white shows up here, okay? The one that's in front that is a full square, that is your foreground color. The one that's in back is the background color. This little double-sided arrow here will flip-flop so that the white to the black is foreground. What we want to do is, before we start, we need to paint, use the paint bucket to paint our background black. And that's just because for a couple of these text things, we have to start with white text. And we won't be able to see it if it's on a white background. Once you get it, go ahead and select the horizontal type tool. That's the first one on that list. And we need to change our color to white. And then simply type the word gold. Oops. Now, that doesn't look like gold because I have it on Webdings. I will let you choose your own font. However, I would like you choose a font that has some thickness to it, like this one. I used Stencil Standard. You'll see that once you pick a font and type it, it creates a new layer and it shows you that it's a text layer with this T. Now, you can use the character panel to adjust the font size, okay? You can also use the options panel. However, you don't see the options panel right now. In order to get the options panel back, you would have to double click on this T. That selects the text there, and now you can use this options panel. You can do it either way. Either way works. I want you to make sure that you get it to a size, though, that takes up, I don't know, about 75% of the width. Okay? All right, now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to need to apply a layer style to it. And you've possibly hit layer style on accident by double clicking when you try to rename your layer. If you double click on the name, it renames your layer, but if you double click next to it, it opens this box. This is your layer style dialog box. Over here on the left are a bunch of different styles that you can apply, not just to text, but the other layers as well. We're going to start by clicking on the word Bevel and Emboss. It's about halfway down. Notice that when you click on it, it puts a check mark there and it makes it blue. It highlights it. When it's highlighted, then you know that all the options that show up here are associated with the Bevel and Emboss. We're going to keep the style at inner bevel, change the technique to chisel hard. Then we're going to keep the depth at 100%, the direction up, and now we're going to have to decide what size we want. And as we make it go all the way up from 1 to 2, or actually from 0 to 250, you see how it gets the bevel. You have to decide what works best. Your font may be different than mine, and your font size may be different. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 125 for this. We'll leave soften at 0. We'll leave the angle at 120 and the altitude at 30. The next thing that we want to change is the gloss contour. Now there's two ways you can do that. If you hold down this little arrow, it gives you these. And if you hover over it, it tells you which one it is. Or if you click on the little image, you get a pop-up where you can choose from the drop-down menu, and you're going to choose ring. And now you can see how it changed a little bit. Then we're going to choose anti-aliased, and that helps keep it smooth. Next, click on contour. It's going to check that. We're going to leave this at linear contour. The only thing we're going to change here is that we want to check anti-alias. Next, we're going to click on color overlay. Now, the first thing that you're going to notice with the color overlay is that it made it red. We want to change this color, okay? We're going to leave the blend mode as normal, and we're going to click on the color picker, and we're going to type in a specific color. Remember that our document right now is RGB. That's the color mode we're working in, red, green, blue. So we're going to type our colors in here. So in the R, we're putting 247. With the G, it's 170. For the B, it is 59. And it gives kind of an orange color. Go ahead and click OK on it. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is Satin. I'm going to click on that to select it. This time I'm going to change my blend mode to screen. Remember that these blend modes can have a different appearance on it. So if I choose screen, okay, it's starting to look a little more gold. However, the screen, it's screened by this black color. So if I click on the color picker, I can change the black to white. And just so you know, down here, the hexadecimal, this is what is called a hexadecimal code, where you see the pound sign. Black is 6 zeros. White is 6 Fs. Then opacity is going to stay 50, angle 19. Distance, we might need to play with this a little bit. I'm going to bump that up to about 20, 21 right now. Size is going to be, I don't know, around 50 to 60, somewhere in there, depending again on what you did. And then the contour, I'm going to choose half round. Now, once I choose that half round, then I might want to go back and adjust this distance a little bit. And I think I'm still going to keep that right there at 50. And then I'm going to make sure that invert is checked. At this point, I like the way this looks. It looks like gold to me. And I'm going to go ahead and click OK. And so at this point, you know one method to go from taking plain text into making it really cool.